Today's tie is going to be a bucktail fly tied on a weedless hook. This one, it's going to look something like this. The reservoirs where I am are emptying and the vegetation's growing in, and I need a pattern I can run through some weeds. So this is it. It's got a good profile, really easy to tie. So we're going to just tie in 2 clumps of bucktail and some flash, and we'll call it good. Very simple. Very simple. So let's cut our bucktail out. These you don't want like super long ones, so try to find some shorter ones. Save the long ones for another fly. These should be good. The first clump is going to get reverse tied, so adjust your tips. And adjusting my tips. Trim your butts. Alright, so we got our first clump, and that's going to go in reverse. You're only working with the smallest area here, and we want to keep a little bit of space behind the hook eye. So let's try to move your thread back as far as possible, and we'll utilize the super glue because there's just not so much real estate to tie in here. So we're going to put it right back at the edge there. We'll put our clump in. 1, 2. Make sure not to slip down. And apply some pressure. Pressure. And then spread that bucktail out so it's covering a good bit. You can go ahead and clean up those butts a little bit. Obviously don't want to cut your thread. That should be good. Okay, let's do a couple more wraps, and then we're going to lock it down with some super glue. Real tight. Tight. Alright, let's lock it down. Lock it down. And then we want to get some of the super glue under so it binds to the hook. That's good. Alright. We'll let that rest for a minute so that super glue can coagulate. And then we're going to push this back. Don't get super glue on your fingers. Push this back. Don't stab yourself with the hook. Carefully. There, that'll be fine. Alright. And tight. Tight. It's okay if it flares. After you finish your fly and all the glue is dried and everything, you're going to want to soak it in water, hot water, and then let it hang and dry, and that'll help you get it'll dry in a nice shape. Good. So that's our first clump. Let's go ahead and add some flash Gordon. Fair amount. We want this one to be a pretty flashy guy, so we'll add a fair amount here. We'll add a fair amount, maybe 5 or 6 strands, and then we'll double that. To tie it in, we'll wrap it around our thread, and then we'll bring it up, and we'll just sit it up top nice and carefully there. That's good. And we can tighten it up here, lock it down, fold it back, position a little bit, that's fine. And don't stab yourself. We will tighten that up. Tighten it up, tighten it up. Alright. Good. So we have just that little space then left right there to tie in our last clump of bucktail. And this one, you do want to get some longer strands of bucktail here. So we'll pick out some nice ones, and then what we're going to do is we're going to flare it. Let's check our tips. Check our tips. Good tips. Good tips. Good tips. Yeah, it looks good. So what we're going to do is we'll tie it in. We want the bottom portion to be our tail, so we'll tie it in about this portion, and then we're going to flare it, and this end, this will make up our head. So we'll cut it. We'll cut about an inch off the end there. We'll cut it around right there. So we will trim it up. Alright. And we'll set it down, and like I said, we're going to flare it up. So let's get a nice wrap here. Tight, 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 tight. Tight, tight, tight. Tight, tight, tight. And then we will work it. Try to work it around. Flare that out. Work it around. Work it around. Okay. So our bucktail's flared, tied in, and what we're going to do is we want to push our head back and then secure it. So we'll push it back. And I know it doesn't look so pretty right now, but the hot water does magic. And we will give it a nice head thread dam, because we need some thread to hold our super glue. Alright. So you kind of get the idea. We're not going to cut. We don't want to cut because I've cut before, and it doesn't look so good. So we're just going to leave it as it is. They're spread out nicely. We'll leave it as it is, and let's go ahead and we'll put in some super glue. So we'll lay the fly on its side, and then we'll put 2 dots of glue, and then we have these 2 gill plates. I did some flashy gill plates with some thicker tinsel, and so we cut it, and we'll put one on either side of the fly. These are our flashy gill plates, and then with a marker we'll put on some eyes. we're not trying to win any awards with this fly. It's really just function, so we can keep fishing in cover. Okay, that's it. And I'll go ahead and I'll put some water on it, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's wet. Alright, I ran some water on it, and you can see how nicely that head is shaped there. You could put some UV glue on it a little later, but we'll see what it looks like when it dries out. And then yeah, it's not too complicated, not fancy, but very, very functional. Alright, tight lines. Mr. Fisher. There he is. Chunky little guy. I think he got caught before here. But this is a welcome fish. A little bit pale. Tough to catch this morning.